A high-performance building envelope is an essential part of creating a healthy, comfortable and energy-efficient home. This means focusing on parts of the building you often cannot see, such as components within the floor, walls and roof, to make a home as airtight and as insulated as possible. Craft Homes have partnered up with Formance and Pro Clima to achieve this with our high-performance homes. But before we hear from them, here's a quick update on our build. As you can see, the last month's been quite productive. What you're looking at is about a 2-week process. Since we last spoke, we had poured the slab, laid all our bottom plate down for our SIPS walls. We then erected all our internal wall frames. That was our second day. We had a crane arrive on our third day, erected our walls. And then the following day, the next day, fourth day, we erected our trusses. The next day we had the crane come back and we had erected our SIPS roof. So all in all, basically 7 days we had our walls up and our roof on. And now we're just currently working on our porch. And also some of the other things that has been going on in the background, we've had our septic system installed from Natural Flow. We had our rainwater tanks put in, and we've got 2 30,000 litre water tanks below the house, which pump up to a gravity-fed water tank, which is something that's quite beneficial when you're running off grid, which we're currently doing now. So when we've got excess energy, the solar system pumps water up to our tank and then it's just gravity fed back to our house. It's really important that we get the material for the right price, and obviously with the way the building industry is at the moment, we've got price increases coming at us from every angle, so that's probably one of the biggest challenges we've had at the moment.
So we decided that while we were building the house on our land, that we wanted to live here too. So we decided to do a fit out of the shed, which is just behind me here. We did that fit out last year. So we created a 37 square metre space for our family. We worked really hard to make it as insulated and as airtight as possible to make it a really healthy living environment for us and our kids. And we've now moved completely to off-grid living as well. We're charging 2 EVs from our solar panels. We're using rainwater to drink and to irrigate the garden, etc.
So yes, so we're putting our home through the Homestar certification, and one of the requirements of the Homestar rating tool is that we minimise our landfill, and so we've partnered with Extreme Zero in Raglan, and they are helping us minimise our landfill by providing us with these bins here, and we can use each bin to separate all the landfill, all the site waste into different categories. It just makes for a clean site, and it means that by using Extreme Zero they can reuse, repurpose if we can't. Part of the Passive House planning package requires that with our climate and the thermal modelling that was done on our property, we had to use 165mm SIP wall, and we had to use a 265mm SIP roof with thermal splines.
SIPs stand for structural insulated panels. A lot of people call them structurally insulated panels, which is incorrect. But a SIP is basically made up of 2 rigid sheathing products, and in our case is oriented strand board, on each side of a rigid foam core, which makes up the SIP panel. SIPs have been external envelope of the building, so walls and roof, and in some cases floor, and they replace the timber framing and the loose fitting insulation in a building. Us humans spend about 70% of our time indoors, so we deserve to be living in a comfortable, dry, warm, quiet environment, and SIPs is one of the ways of making this incredibly airtight, dry and warm. So a building envelope separates you from the outside, keeps the moisture out, keeps the wind out, keeps all those environments out of your structure, and SIPs does this naturally by making it one system where your product is used for the envelope and then gets clad with a cladding of your choice. Yeah, so the benefits of SIPs over standard building materials is that it's inherently airtight and inherently high performance. We work with the architect and the builder and the homeowner. They come up with the form and the shape of their building. We then panelise it using panelization software. We have a factory which has recently been opened in Christchurch, and we laminate and cut and process and label the panels for that house lot. So once the manufacturing stage is completed, that is for that house, and then we deliver the product to site and the builder stands and erects the SIPS panel.
As a company, we find SIPS panels to be really efficient on site, saves a lot of time on site to erect. They're already insulated, and to build an energy efficient home it has to be airtight, so by using a SIP panel it's just a quick tape over the panel. We're not having to run a lot of membranes and things like that to get it airtight, and so we can meet standard very quickly by just using some Pro Clima tapes.
Proclimber is a manufacturer of building underlays and vapour control membranes and tapes. They're a German-based company. They've been around since the 1980s, and they now distribute the product worldwide. The Proclimber products enable healthy living conditions in buildings by protecting the structure from external and internal moisture sources. Weather tightness membrane, or your weather resistant barrier, is the layer that is applied directly on the outside of your structure, and that protects the structure and the insulation inside that from any external forces, wind-driven moisture. Air tightness membranes are the layers that we put on the inside of the insulation, to the warm side of the insulation, to enable us to contain the air inside the building, to make it easier to heat, cool and ventilate. The air tightness membrane also helps us control the movement of moisture vapour into the interstitial spaces where it can start growing mould and rotting and things like that. So both the Proclimber external and internal membranes are really part of systems. So when they're used with the flashing tapes and the window connection tape and sealants and that sort of thing, which gives the designer and the builder peace of mind. And things like our tapes have been tested for 100 years durability, which really gives you peace of mind that when it's used on the wall correctly, covered with the cladding, it's working away behind the scenes for many years to come.
Yeah, so we're using Extasana Adhero by Proclimber, and the benefits of using Adhero on a SIPS home is because it's a peel and stick product, and it's just very easy to apply, and it sticks on really, it adheres to the panel really well. We've also used it on our roof, which is probably not normally standard. We normally would use a Mento 3000 or 1000, but as the Adhero's got a 6-month UV resistance, we've opted in for that because I'm trying to build the house here by myself whilst do everything else, and so the Adhero made a lot of sense on the roof, and yes, it's just very long lasting, great product.
So I've dealt with Toby and the team at Craft Homes for a few years now on different building projects. They're very passionate about what they do. They're also very passionate about learning about new methodologies, new products, new innovative systems to enable them to build these better, above code homes. So
we're one of many suppliers that would supply high performance building products to Craft Homes. We find them very professional. They have a lot of input to the design with an architect, so that comes with a lot of experience. Craft Homes have recently joined our partner program, which is a hand-picked group of builders around the country that specialise in using our product. So we welcome Toby and Kat onto the Formance partner program.